Thank you, Your Honor, for hearing this case. I believe that the evidence that I'm going to present to you will be more than sufficient in order to allow this arson case to continue against the homeowners at this location. Just to give you a little bit of background about what happened at the location and how we responded and how everything proceeded. At 1:17 p.m., the fire department received a report of a fire at 614 Main Street. A first alarm assignment was dispatched. Our first alarm assignments consist of 2 engines, 1 truck, 1 rescue, and a battalion chief. The first arriving units arrived shortly after dispatch, and they reported seeing dense black smoke coming from the eaves and the vents of the house. The first engine company proceeded to the northeast corner of the house, which we label as the A and D corner, also known as the Alpha Delta corner of the house, and they forced open the door. Crews advanced hand lines quickly into the home, and they quickly saw that the fire involved in the area around the TV in the living room. The structure had minor smoke conditions, and they reported that they had good visibility. A search and rescue operations had been started, but it was abandoned after officers were able to talk with the family members arriving on scene. They stated that they had just came from the store and no one was at home. The crews mounted an offensive interior attack utilizing an 1 3/4 attack line, and the fire was quickly knocked down and declared under control. As crews were on the scene, reloading hose and completing some of the paperwork, another fire was dispatched approximately 3 blocks away from the location that they was already at. Just to give you a perspective of how busy the department is, I have a chart, and each one of these dots on this chart represents a structure fire in the county. And as you can see, it's pretty heavily populated and dense with fire incidents. So there are times when units are running short and we have to get them back into service quickly. Now, with that being stated, the fire that came in that was 3 blocks away had report of entrapment with children trapped inside of the structure. So the crews quickly finished up loading and they responded to the other call and were gone prior to my arrival. Now, once I arrived on scene, fire crews had already left, as well as the family was gone. I made entry into the structure up under that I had right of entry. The right of entry is the legal authority and permission to enter a property for the purpose of conducting fire investigation. Now, we all know that there are 4 methods used to attain right of entry. They have exigent circumstance, consent, administrative search warrant, and criminal search warrant. Now, we can use each one of those methods individually, or they can be used in combination over the course of my investigation. At that time, what I utilized in the structure was what be called exigent circumstance, and it's extended to a reasonable time frame to extinguish the fire and determine its origin. And this was established through the court case of Michigan versus Tyler back in 1978. The need for this to come about is that most fire crews, when they're on scene, they're thinking about saving lives and protecting property. They're not really overly concerned with criminal and constitutional law. As we go back to the structure, I began to take photographs. I photographed the exterior and then moved on to the interior. While I was doing my examination, it appeared that the furniture in the house was staged and there was no personal effects in the house, which to me was out of place. As I continued to do my investigation, I noticed a melted device And then along that mental device, I found a poor pattern behind the TV, which led to my reasonable suspicion of arson and me charging the homeowners with arson. Now, they showed up with the attorney, and the attorney said that I violated the Fourth Amendment rights, which is not the case, because the 1978 decision in Michigan versus Tyler rejects the notion that I didn't have justification for warrantless entry, that it ended as soon as the fire was extinguished. It extends to me having reasonable time to conduct an investigation, and courts have upheld search and could conduct as long as 11 hours after the incident. With that being stated, I believe that it's more than enough evidence to allow this evidence to be admitted into court, and we can proceed with the charges. Thank you for your time, Your Honor.